All right, let's dive right in. We're talking about a huge strategic shift for anyone in the real estate world. It's not about if you should be using AI anymore, but how. The title really says it all. It's time to stop just renting AI and start owning it. And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? I mean, think about this. When your agents log into ChatGPT to punch out a listing description, who are they actually making smarter? Every prompt, every piece of data they enter, who is that really helping? Honestly, it's a question that should keep you up at night. Look, it really boils down to one simple choice. Are you just renting intelligence from a giant tech company, feeding their machine every single month? Or are you actually investing in an asset, something that grows in value and works only for you? That's the choice, and it's the foundation for everything we're about to get into.
So, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll talk about the generic trap. Then we'll get into the ownership advantage, see what this asset looks like in action, understand the promise from the architect who built it, and then lay out your next move.
Okay, let's kick things off with a problem that's kind of hiding in plain sight. We're calling it the generic trap. This is what happens when something convenient today turns into a major liability down the road. This slide lays it out perfectly. On the left, when you rent generic AI, you're just training OpenAI's model. It makes stuff up, it has no idea about your local market or compliance rules, and it definitely doesn't know your brand voice. But look at the right side. When you own the asset, you're building your brand equity. It knows your compliance rules because that's what it's built on. And the kicker, it becomes an expert on your data. So if renting is the trap, how do you get out of it? Well, that brings us to Section 2, the ownership advantage. This is all about flipping the script and making this powerful technology work for you and only you. So the key to all of this is something called white label AI. Think of it like this. A pro racing team builds a championship-level engine. Then they hand you the keys. You get to slap your logo on it, paint it your team colors, and now it's your car racing for your team. It's that same idea, a proven, powerful infrastructure that becomes your company's own secret weapon. First things first, you make it yours. See, this isn't some random tool your team has to log into. It starts with your logo, right there, front and center. Everyone knows this is an in-house tool, a company asset. And it doesn't stop there. It doesn't just look like it's yours, it actually lives in your digital home. Your team goes to your own website, your own domain to use it. That constantly reinforces the idea that this is our tool. And here it is. This is the absolute game changer. The AI stops being a generalist and becomes a specialist, an expert on your business. It's trained on your sales scripts, your contracts, your marketing, your secret sauce. It knows how you do business, inside and out. So let's just recap the big differences here. It's fully white-labeled, so you get all the credit. It's got proprietary training, so it's an expert on how you operate. It's native to your CRM, so you avoid that messy Zapier spaghetti, trying to tape a bunch of apps together that always break. And maybe the best part? Zero coding required. You don't have to be a tech genius. They handle the entire engine for you. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's get into Section 3 and see this asset in action, solving some very real problems. First up, let's put ourselves in the shoes of a brokerage owner. Man, the competition for good agents right now is it's brutal. Everybody is looking for an edge. This is the question, isn't it? The one that's always in the back of your mind. In a sea of different commission splits and big brand names, what's your unique value? What do you offer that they can't get somewhere else? It's a tough question to answer.
And here is the answer. Your AI asset becomes a recruiting superweapon. Just imagine sitting across from a top recruit and saying, when you join us, you get your own 24/7 AI assistant branded to our brokerage that will instantly write all of your marketing copy, your emails, even your bio. That's not just a small perk. That is a powerful, tangible reason to join your team and to stay there.
Now, let's switch gears. Let's talk about the real estate coach or the mentor who's training new investors. They have a completely different kind of headache. Oh man, this is so frustrating for anyone who teaches. You can have the best course in the world, the most incredible scripts and strategies, but if your students don't actually do anything with it, what's the point? There's this huge gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. Well, this is how you bridge that gap. You stop just giving them homework, and you start giving them the tool to get the work done. Imagine bundling a custom deal analyzer into your mentorship program, an AI that's been trained on your specific investment criteria. All of a sudden, you're not just selling information anymore, you're selling results. You're selling tech-enabled coaching, and you can absolutely charge a premium for that.
So you're probably wondering, who is the brain behind this kind of technology? I mean, a tool this focused and practical doesn't just appear out of thin air. Let's jump into Section 4, the architect's promise.
This quote right here, from the founder Jeff Tucker, just says it all. The whole philosophy isn't about creating some flashy, cool AI novelty. It's about building serious, hardworking tools that actually make you money. Plain and simple.
And this is why it works. The founder brings this incredible mix of 30 years in tech and 40 years in real estate investing. That means the AI isn't just a piece of code. It actually understands things like cap rates, ROI, creative finance, the stuff that matters. And because it's been tested in the field with real active agents, there's no fluff. It's just built to do the things that close deals.
Which brings us to our final section. We've seen the trap, we've seen the advantage, and we've seen it in action. So the big question is, what's the path forward? Let's talk about your next move.
And the great news is, the process is incredibly straightforward. It all starts with a strategy call, where you map out exactly what you need. After that, you can just sit back. The team handles all the heavy lifting, the development, the setup, all of it. And then step 3 is the handover. You get your finished, custom-built AI asset with all the training and support you need. It's a totally seamless process.
So we end right back where we started, but maybe with a totally new perspective. In a time where generic AI is everywhere and basically free, having it isn't the advantage. Building your own is. So I'll just leave you with this one last question to think about. In this new age of AI, what is your company's most valuable asset? Is it something you're just renting, or is it something you truly own?